about to show you how much rain we've had in the past week. It's a lot. Hello, good morning everybody, and what a day it is now, considering the amount of rain that we had first thing this morning. It certainly feels like spring. It's warm, not in a jacket, not cold, and there are some bees flying about at the moment. All kind of just gone back in, the sun's gone in a little bit, but they were out. In today's video, we're gonna start doing, we're not going to start checking the bees. It's still too early, it's only the beginning of March. It's still a little bit cold for that, but we're going to do an experiment now, because we have just started beekeeping last year. Don't really know how to give the bees that extra boost in the spring, because we want to hopefully get a spring crop this year, something which we missed out on last year. So for that, we're going to dabble at putting some sugar syrup onto our hives. So at the moment we're just feeding fondant, just a baking fondant. You pick that up anywhere, and it's a solid feed. So as it gets colder, the bees won't take down any liquid, but they will take down the solid. And then with that solid food, they'll then use, they'll fly up onto the top here, drink the water, and use that water to then break down the fondant. But although the weather isn't really looking like it's going to improve, it is looking like it's getting warmer, 11-12 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cold during the night, but with the syrup it kind of simulates a nectar flow, which then stimulates the queen to start laying more eggs. Now when she lays those eggs, they're not going to hatch for, depending if it's male or female. If it's a worker, female, it'll be 21 days. If it's a male, a drone, 24 days. So we kind of have to look a little bit further ahead, but the forecast is only up to 7 days, which isn't helpful. So we're gonna try it out on maybe half the hives and see how it goes. We're also going to put on some tags on the brood boxes, which is this box here, because we've got an iPad now where we're going to, like last year we were checking but we weren't recording what we were checking, so this year I want to make sure we're checking the productivity of each hive, which is doing well, which isn't, which is potentially going to swarm. It's all these sort of things. So with these numbers we can then suss out which hives need tending to, which hives need feeding. So here we go, they're all starting to appear now. But they're quite docile at the moment. As long as you don't get in their flight path, don't annoy them, they're not going to be too bad. But we might suit up today, just because we are going to look at the cluster size. We open the crown board, which is a bit of wood that goes on top of the nest or the colony, and we're going to just see how big the cluster is and judge, do we give them fondant and liquid, or do we just give them a liquid feed? And yes, it's just things like that. We're going to do a little experiment. Hopefully we'll see some benefits, some improvements, or if we see some drops in the health of the colony. So we'll keep you up to date with all of that, and it'll be kind of nice just to see, and if you guys learn from me, then we're kind of winning at life. So that's the plan for today. We'll suit up, because there are some bees flying. Fingers crossed we don't get stung. But I just tagged them all up. Obviously we haven't got two, because that's got the mice in it, but we've tagged them all up, the ones that we need to be tagged, and then we'll still tag those other hives once we've got bees in them, because hopefully we'll be able to split them. We got the father here today. Didn't see him last time. So who are you?
I'm Steve. I own Lagness Farms and co-worker and apprentice to my son Ben. for the beekeeping side of things. So between the two of us, today we're doing our first proper check. We're going a little bit computerised on the iPad. So on the iPad we have, I don't know if you can see, queen. Well, we won't be looking at that, eggs, larvae. We won't be looking at most of this today. It's literally just to go in, see if they need food.
Open up first. Oh, that's a bit wet. That's now, take the chisel. Right. So we can see, this is the fondant that we've been putting down. We just put it in a Tupperware tub, takeaway tub. There's a few dead bees. I don't know where they've come through, to be honest. And there's a bit of water on that as well. So we'll take that off. Take the super, so that's your super. That's your brew box. The seed brew box is a little bit bigger. Right, do you want to just crack a open? So we're just going to see how big, we're not going into the hive, we're just going to see how big the cluster is. Because we haven't gone into it for a good 6 months, it's going to be a little bit. So that's your cluster there. So they're not over these frames. So they're over 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. So they've got enough food in there. I think we'll just keep them, because they're quite small, we don't want them to expand too quickly. Otherwise, when the brood starts to expand, then they'll get too cold. So we'll leave them as they are. So that's the fondant. It's literally just in the Tupperware. This is what we feed the syrup into, which we got in here. And that's literally just a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's 1 pound of sugar to 1 litre of water, or 1 kilo of sugar, whatever floats your boat. So that's what we're going to do. We'll set you down to one side, we'll go through them all, and then if there's anything interesting we'll show you it. So they've still got 2 tubs. We're going to take one of these tubs off, and you'll see why in a minute. Now that they are over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, over 9 frames. So I think with that we're going to put down some syrup, because we want to encourage the new bees to come through. We want the queen to lay some new eggs, new brood, and they'll then be ready and rearing to go. But I'm really impressed with that. Was that our swarm? I don't think that was it?
That's one of our original ones.
No, that was one of our original colonies. That. So basically, with these feeders, put these gloves on.
Watch me.
Easy. So the bees can come up, as where that bee is now. It can go up. There's a cup here. Syrup goes in. So the bees can go in, crawl down to the bottom and drink from the bottom, so they're not actually being drowned by the syrup, which is quite clever, I think.
It's not all today.
As long as I can get through. So yeah, the bees are a little bit mad because it is still a little bit cold for them, but we just want to try and do this as an experiment. We might be wrong, it might not work, but we'll find out and we'll let you guys know. Right, we'll set you back down and we'll crack on. So this hive that we're just about to go into is the perfect definition of a winter cluster. As you can literally see, a nice little circle of bees. So you see that? We're literally just over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, right in the middle, fairly docile. So I think...
Fondant.
Do we give them fondant or shall we?
No, fondant.
Yeah, okay, we'll give them fondant.
Because it's there.
Well, no, to be honest, I think that'd be okay. There's enough in there.
Leave that one then.
So you can see they kind of eat them halfway through, so we're not going to bother feeding them. Just because if we put down another slab of fondant, because it is now March, we're probably going to have to take it back off again, which we don't really want to be doing. So we'll just pop that back on. What's that one? What's a caterpillar?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not wax moth.
Living on here.
It's amazing all the little bits of wildlife can find its way in.
Yeah.
So we put down a bit of insulation as well, just to help keep the warmth in the hive. So I think it's got to be around 33 degrees centigrade. And I think this was our other swarm, wasn't it?
Yes, small swarm.
So they've pretty much eaten everything in there. So that little square is called an eek. So you see there's only a brew box on there. Obviously they're quite a nice little small cluster. I think we can give them some syrup, to be honest, because they're quite small, and so it'll be quite a good comparison to see how quickly they grow.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. Taking it down, right? Okay, you're right at the battle end. This one needs to go.
Sweep it over, because I can still get to that if they go through. They can still get to the fondant on there. Quick update, not all of them have had food, and obviously we've given 3 some syrup. So they are, which ones? There's this one, this is quite a big one. What do we do with this one?
Those two have got both.
So yeah, these ones have got fondant and syrup, fondant and syrup. Top that up with fondant. We've just given these guys syrup because they're quite small, so it'll be interesting to see how much they develop on it. I might come back tomorrow just to see if they are taking it down. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks anyway, is now transitioning from fondant onto syrup. We've got this sachet Hive Alive that we're going to try that out on a hive as well. I don't know what it does. Apparently it increases colony health, helps boost numbers, also helps boost productivity, the honey side of things as well. So we'll choose a hive for that. Do we go a slightly weak hive and see if it does make them quite strong, or do we go with a stronger hive and see how much more honey they make? Let me know in the comments, because I don't know. Now I think we can kind of see which feed the bees are preferring at this time of year. They're clearly more interested in the fondant than they are in the sugar syrup, although they are taking it down, but there's far more bees in the fondant than there is in the syrup. So I think that kind of confirms it. Maybe still a little bit too early to put down syrup, but they are taking it down still. So it's not a complete loss. I think maybe that might be the way to go though, just to give them a bit of both. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope the video quality has improved, because I know some of you have mentioned about that. Hopefully I've sorted that out. I'm hoping the mic has sorted itself out as well. I've just taken like the muff, I don't know if you call it a muff to be honest, but a fuzzy thing that sits on top of it, to help prevent the wind, but there's no wind today, so hopefully it's out of it. And hopefully we shall be back next week. Maybe the weather's improved, who knows, but I think the bees are certainly ready for the spring to start. There's a lot of hawthorn that's now coming out into flower, to blossom, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we've had our rain, because we have had a pretty shocking week. Pretty shocking February as well, to be honest, but farming will be starting soon, hopefully. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra.